Hello viewers, this is Say-La-Vee, and today we are going to be doing our fourth and final build for this section of characters. So I guess let's just get right to it. So this is build number 4, the Musical Magician. Now, the reason why I'm building this character in particular is nothing fancy like the other ones, just the fact that I wanted a support character for the 2 upfront fighters and the 1 ranged cleric. So I decided, since I like bards in Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, why not see what they're like in this game? So let's build a level 5 bard, and let's hope that it's the bardiest bard to ever bard. Moving on to level 1, we start with our ABCs, and A, of course, is Ancestry. As we can see, we are going to be choosing a Umbral Gnome. We get those boring things in those boxes there, and we get some extra things on top of that. So Constitution and Intelligence are the 2 basic boosts. Charisma will be our free boost, and our flaw is in Strength, as reflected in the boxes. Our languages are Common, Gnomish, and Fey by default, and then our +1 Intelligence nets us Dwarven. For traits, we have Gnome and Humanoid for whenever those matter, and our Umbral feature upgrades our Low-Light Vision into Dark Vision to help us target and see our allies with our abilities. Moving on to B, or Background, I'm going to take something occult and fun, because why not? We're taking the Fortune Teller background. Fortune Teller is going to boost our Dexterity and our Charisma to reflect like those boxes show. We are going to get the Oddity Identification skill feat, and this feat has a lot of words in it, so I tried to narrow it down. Immediately, we are going to know if a spell or magical effect includes something that's mental, misfortune, detection, prediction, revelation, or scrying. And we can also always use occultism to identify magic and recall knowledge with no penalty. And in fact, we get a +2 circumstance bonus when we do use occultism on those things. And of course, for skills, we get occultism and fortune-telling lore. Moving on finally to C, or Class, you better believe that we're playing a Bard. Bard's key attribute is Charisma, and our boosts are going to reflect over there on the table. We have a number in every box, which is always fun to look at, but unfortunately one of those is a negative, so probably not doing any melee damage anytime soon. We get some initial proficiencies from Bard as reflected in that table there, and our Ancestry feat from Gnome is going to be Razzle Dazzle. Razzle Dazzle is going to increase the duration by 1 on our blinded and dazzled conditions that we deal. Our Bard composition spells are Counter Performance and Courageous Anthem by default, and our Muse of Enigma is going to get us the Bardic Lore skill feat, or skill, I guess. That means that we can recall knowledge on anything, but only recall knowledge. And on the topic of skills, let's get into what Bards get. So Bards by default get Occultism and Performance, but we already have that, so we're going to take Arcana and Performance, and some 4 plus our Intelligence for a total of 5. I'm going to take the 5 that you see there. Obviously, you can slot in whatever you would like in those spots. I'm just adding those because that's how I would play the character. And, of course, Razzle Dazzle, in case I didn't say it, is once per hour, and it's a free action whenever we trigger those things. Moving to level 2 now, let's cover some variant rules. We are going to be doing the gradual attribute boosts, so we boost to every level on this build, except for a couple, but we're not going to see them in this video. And then, of course, we are doing the automatic bonus progression, giving us a +1 at level 2 to all of our strike modifiers. Here we gain a Bard feat, which we will be taking Multifarious Muse and choosing Maestro, which gives us the Lingering Composition spell. And what this is a free focus spell, or a free action focus spell, that allows us to roll a performance check versus a common DC for our level, and it will increase the duration of our cantrip composition spells by 3 on a success and 4 rounds on a critical success. So this means that we don't need to be using that 1 action to Courageous Anthem every single turn, and is a huge relief on the action economy of a Bard. Our skill feat at level 2, we are going to be taking Dubious Knowledge, which means that when we fail on a Recall Knowledge, we gain false information and a piece of correct information. We do not know the difference between the 2 pieces of information, however, it boosts the failures just a little bit. Moving to level 3, we are going to boost our dexterity here, bringing it to a +3, and we also get +1 skill potency, which we are of course placing in performance. Our bard feature is reflex expertise, meaning that our reflex saving throws go up to expert, and we also get some signature spells here. I'm going to be taking Spirit Link and False Vitality, primarily because those things boost at different levels. False Vitality is a second level spell that gives us temporary hit points, and Spirit Link is going to trickle health from us to an ally slowly over the course of a minute. For our general feat, we are taking something that you probably don't agree with, but I'm going to be taking Adopted Ancestry. Now, the reason why I'm taking this general feat here has nothing to do with what I would do in combat necessarily, but as a support character, I think something from Leshy is going to make this character a lot more fun and definitely unique and interesting. Finally, our skill increase is going to bring our performance up to expert, and when we hit level 5, that will be a +13 bonus. Moving to level 4, we are going to boost our constitution, giving us the +3 in the box over there, and +1 devastating strikes, meaning that all of our weapon strikes are dealt or handled like striking weapons. For our bard feat, we are taking Melodious Spell, which means that we get to basically subtle spell our bard spells, but also at the same time that we do this spell shape action, we can create a diversion, demoralize, perform, or request something of a creature that we see. For a skill feat, we are taking Distracting Performance, which means that we can create a diversion on behalf of an ally using performance instead of deception. We don't have to know where that ally is, and we do not have to detect that ally. We just have to know that they're in the area of the diversion. Finally, for this build, we are hitting level 5 and boosting our Wisdom to +2, and a AC potency here of +1, bringing our AC up, which is always nice. Our ancestry feat from Leshy is going to be Speak with Kindred. The reason why I think this is fun is because now we can ask questions of and receive answers from Fungus. The reason why I'm choosing Fungus here is because Leshies get to commune with the kindred of themselves. So like a gourd Leshy could talk to pumpkins, and a fungus Leshy could talk to fungi. Well, as an umbral gnome from underground, I would say that they encounter fungus more, so that's why I would GM rule that they can only commune with fungus. But it's a really fun roleplay feature. And again, our Bard feature here, because we have access to 3rd level spells now, is another signature spell, and we're taking Force Barrage in this slot. The reason why I'm doing this is because at 3rd level, or every +2 heightened, I can't remember which, the Force Barrage spell adds another dart per action. So 2, 4, 6 instead of the original 1, 2, 3, which is a huge damage increase. Finally, at level 5, we get a skill increase, and we are going to bring Deception up to Expert, which at this level is +13. And now I realize Performance would be +14 at this level. But that's the build, so let's move on to some gear and some actions that I would take on my turn. That boring box up there tells us what our AC and HP are currently sitting at, and every 5th level character starts with 280 gold. I would use that to purchase Studded Leather, a Cold Iron Buckler, specifically the higher grade version. That way we can use it as a bludgeoning weapon, because we are proficient with martial weapons, so we can get that Cold Iron weakness and immunity out of the way. I would take a longbow with a Fearsome rune on it, meaning that on a critical hit, we apply Frightened 2 to the target. I'd take 4 Spell Strike rank 1 arrows and 20 regular arrows, leaving us with 27.8 gold. And when it comes to turns, I would take something like these over here. First action, you could Lingering Composition your Courageous Anthem, hoping to increase that for the rest of the battle, and then of course cast a spell after that. I would do something like False Life or Haste here. You could definitely fill in one of those. For another turn, you could Razzle Dazzle Dizzying Colors, hoping to increase that dazzled or blinded condition. And then of course you could strike after that with the bonus of 1 Courageous Anthem if it did manage to linger, and 2 the added bonus because they're blinded or dazzled. I would also consider starting off the combat by hitting that rank 3 Spirit Link to drain 6 hit points from ourselves and then heal 6 hit points to an ally over the course of a minute, just to help keep the frontline fighter up and going. And then of course you could hit yourself with shield, bringing us up to that 24 ACVC. And then of course, using some of those skill feats that we have and some of the fun little abilities, you could linger in composition first round, hit the Courageous Anthem, follow that up with a Recall Knowledge on whatever you want, because Bardic Lore is going to allow you to do that. And then while you have those 2 bonuses, you can immediately follow in with a strike with that longbow. But that is all I had for you guys today. So I just want to say, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. If there's anything that you want to say to me or the other people of YouTube, the comment section is a great place to do that. But I just want to say, have a good night or good morning or good evening or good afternoon or whatever it is for you. Just please have a good day. This has been Say-La-Vee, and bye-bye.